privatising, warmongering agenda that dictates that there is never enough money to solve malnutrition for the Waynes that are dying every 4 seconds because there's no enough food apparently in the world. Never enough money to tackle cholera and dysentery, diarrhoea. Never enough money to provide enough mosquito nets so that Waynes don't die of preventable illnesses. Never enough money for that, but there's always enough money for bombs and missiles and wars. Always enough money for that. We here in Scotland, we've got a chance to say, no, we're standing up and we're saying we are a country of peace, because when you vote for independence, you're voting to get rid of nuclear weapons as well. That's what's important about a yes vote on the 18th of September. What does it mean? What does it mean in concrete reality? The UK Westminster government's already voted to upgrade Trident. They've already, we're all in it together, austerity. They've already agreed to spend £100 billion, £100,000 million in a new Trident nuclear programme. Scrap bloody metal. Immoral, illegal scrap metal. Why? Because if it's ever used, the game's a bogey, we're audited. That's the reality. Think about the International Court of Justice decision of 1996, where the world's countries got together to discuss nuclear weapons. What did they decide? They decided they were illegal. Illegal. Why? Because under the Geneva Convention rules of war, if you're involved in a conflict, you're supposed to target your combatants. In other words, armies are supposed to fight against other armies. You're not supposed to kill civilians. As a consequence of that, it is illegal to use weapons during a war that kill civilians. You're only supposed to kill the other armies. Nuclear weapons, what do? They kill everybody. They are the most indiscriminate weapons ever been invented. That's why the International Court of Justice declared them illegal, and that's why Scotland can become a proud nation of peace when we say, no, we're not having nuclear weapons any longer. Here you go. Here's our contribution. Our contribution to the 100 billion upgrade is £2,125 million. So here's a wee choice. You've got the freedom. You choose. You can have another generation of Trident missiles, or you can have 5 brand new hospitals, 100 new doctors, 100 new dentists, 10 new secondary schools, 200 new teachers, 30 new sports centres. You can host the Commonwealth Games. You can dual the A96 Inverness to Aberdeen Road. You can dual the A9 Perth to Inverness Road. You can do all of that, not one of them, all of that. You have the freedom, brothers and sisters. The 18th of September, do you want your taxpayers' money to be spent on more nuclear bombs? Or do you want more teachers, more schools, more hospitals, more doctors? That's the freedom you've got in your hands. Why would you decide to vote no when you've got that choice in your hands? A yes vote brings you that type of socially useful expenditure. And by the way, remember when you build the new hospitals, when you build the new sports centres, and by the way, we'll be building new houses as well, because that's what we'll be doing in independent Scotland. We'll be tackling head on the scourge of homelessness. Isn't it ridiculous that we've got so many people waiting in houses? There's not enough local authority homes, there's not enough housing association homes, good quality homes, affordable rents. There's not enough of them. So people are queuing, people are living in substandard housing. Why don't we in an independent Scotland waken up and just become real? We want to create jobs, we want to give people skills, we want to give people houses. Why don't we build the houses, create the skills, create the jobs, and then when people have got money in their pocket, what do? They spend it. Where do they spend it? They spend it locally. What does that do? It creates more demand for more jobs and more services. It's called a virtuous cycle economically. That's what we can do in an independent Scotland. We can solve the social problems that exist by using public expenditure to raise the standard of living of everyone in our country. This is not a poor country. You have to get this into your heads, folks. We Since 1945, we are unique among all of the countries. Up to 200 since 1945 have declared their independence from some imperialist state. Many of them from the UK. By the way, none of them have went back and said, no, we want to come back in. Every one of them that got their independence, they have stayed independent. Some of them had to fight for their independence. The United States of America fought a few hundred years ago for theirs. According to Obama, they're going to get back up. They fought for their independence. Some people had to fight with a bullet or the stone. We don't have to do that. All we need is pick up a wee pencil and a wee cross. That's all we need to do on 18th September to get our independence. We are unique among all of those countries. Why are we unique? Because we are more economically, financially sustainable than any country that's became independent since the Second World War. This is a country, in the last 33 years, not 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 33 years in a row, this is a country that's